You keep waiting for the moment when it finally feels right. The quiet signal inside that says now, but it never comes. You tell yourself you are being patient, responsible, careful. But if you are honest, you are not waiting for the right time. You are waiting to feel ready, and that feeling has been late for years. Here is the question that sits quietly in the background. What if ready is not a feeling at all? Let that stay with you. Daniel believed he was thoughtful. He liked to plan. He watched videos about discipline, read books about focus, saved notes about habits. His phone was full of ideas. His mind was full of plans. He would start next week, after things slowed down, after he had more clarity. He was not lazy. At least that is what he told himself. He just wanted to be ready. Every evening, Daniel felt the small weight of unfinished work, the course he wanted to build, the gym membership he had not used, the application he had not sent. He would sit on his bed scrolling, researching, preparing to begin. Tomorrow will be better, he would think. Tomorrow I will feel different. But tomorrow felt exactly like today. Pause for a second. How many tomorrows have passed like that for you? Daniel believed discipline was about energy. He thought disciplined people woke up with fire. He thought they felt clear and certain. So when he woke up tired or unsure, he interpreted it as a sign. Not today. He would start when the doubt was gone. He would start when the fear was quiet. He would start when confidence arrived. Confidence never arrived. Instead, comfort did. Comfort is subtle. It says you deserve rest. It says you have time. It says do not rush the process. Daniel listened carefully to comfort. It sounded kind. It sounded wise. But it was slowly shaping his identity. One night he looked at an old photo of himself from 3 years ago. He remembered the goals he had back then. He also remembered saying the same thing. I just need to get ready first. 3 years had passed. The goals had changed. The sentence had not. Sit with that. The words you repeat become the person you become. Daniel did not fail loudly. There was no big collapse, no dramatic loss, just small delays, small postponements, small acts of waiting. Waiting became his habit, and habits become identity. He began to describe himself in subtle ways. I am someone who takes time. I am someone who thinks deeply. I am someone who does not rush. It sounded mature, but underneath was something else. Fear of being seen trying. Fear of failing publicly. Fear of starting and discovering he was average. It is easier to imagine your potential than to test it. Imagination protects your ego. Action exposes it. Daniel did not realize this. He believed his problem was timing. He believed his problem was mood. He believed his problem was circumstances. It was none of those. It was the quiet belief that he was not the kind of man who moves before he feels ready. Let that land. He thought ready was a door you wait to open. But ready was never outside of him. It was built through action. One morning nothing special happened. There was no surge of motivation, no clear sky moment. He simply noticed something small. The feeling of not being ready had been there for years, and he had treated it like a command. What if it was just noise? That thought unsettled him. If the feeling is not a command, then what is it? Just discomfort. And discomfort is not danger. It is just unfamiliar ground. Daniel realized he had been asking the wrong question. Instead of asking when will I feel ready, he could ask something else. Who am I becoming by waiting? That question changed the room. Waiting was not neutral. It was shaping him. It was teaching his brain that hesitation is safety, that delay is protection, that action requires perfect emotion first. And every time he obeyed that rule, it grew stronger. You are training yourself every day, even when you think you are doing nothing, especially then. Daniel saw that disciplined people were not people who felt ready. They were people who did not worship the feeling. They moved while uncertain. They acted while tired. They began before clarity, not because they were special, but because they identified differently. They did not see themselves as someone who waits. They saw themselves as someone who acts, even imperfectly. That was the shift, not motivation. Identity. Daniel did something small, very small. He opened his laptop and worked for 20 minutes. No announcement, no promise of a new life, just 20 minutes. The discomfort was there. The doubt was there. The feeling of not being ready was still present, but he did not negotiate with it. He did not argue with it. He simply acted alongside it, and something subtle happened. He did not feel powerful. He felt honest. For the first time in a long time, his action matched the person he wanted to be. The next day he did it again. Not perfectly, not dramatically, just enough. He stopped asking if he felt ready. He started asking if this action matches the man I want to become. That question guided him. The early question now has an answer. Ready is not a feeling you wait for. It is an identity you practice. Daniel did not transform overnight. He still had slow mornings. He still felt doubt. But the story he told himself changed. He was no longer the man who waits to feel ready. He was the man who begins while uncertain. And that small sentence changed everything. Now look at yourself. You might still be waiting. Waiting for confidence. Waiting for clarity. Waiting for the perfect time. But each day you wait, you are voting for a version of yourself. The version that hesitates. The version that postpones. The version that stays safe. Safety feels calm, but it quietly builds regret. Discipline is not loud. It does not shout at you. It simply asks one question. Who are you when no one is watching? Are you the person who waits for the right emotion, or the person who moves despite it? You do not need to feel ready. You need to decide who you are, because identity creates behavior, and behavior creates evidence, and evidence rewrites identity. It is a quiet cycle, but it never lies. If you keep waiting to feel ready, you will keep becoming the one who waits. If you begin before you feel ready, you will slowly become the one who acts. There is no dramatic moment, no perfect signal, only small choices. Repeated. Calmly. Daily. You are not stuck because you lack potential. You are stuck because you are loyal to an identity. Change the identity, and the behavior will follow. Stop waiting to feel ready. Become the person who begins anyway.